Have you ever been showered with affection, gifts, and attention that seemed too good to be true? Today, we pull back the curtain on a manipulative tactic often used by narcissists and people with certain personality disorders. This tactic is known as love bombing. It's a seductive yet sinister game of exaggerated compliments, relentless communication, and extravagant gestures. It may seem like overwhelming affection at first glance, but there's more than meets the eye. Let's delve into what love bombing truly is, and how it can be disguised as an overwhelming affection. Love bombing, as its name suggests, is a bombardment of affection and attention. It's a whirlwind romance that sweeps you off your feet with grand gestures, constant communication, and compliments that make you feel like the center of the universe. But beneath this intoxicating rush of affection lies a darker motive. Love bombing is a manipulative tactic, often employed by individuals with narcissistic tendencies. Their goal? To gain control by making their victims emotionally dependent on them. It's a psychological strategy where the manipulator showers their target with excessive love and attention to win their trust and affection. This initial phase of intense love and admiration is often followed by a sudden shift of attitude, leading to emotional abuse and manipulation. Picture this. You meet someone who seems absolutely perfect. They shower you with affection, send you sweet messages throughout the day, and make you feel special. It's as if you're living in a fairy tale. But as time passes, you start to notice a change. The constant attention becomes overwhelming. The sweet messages turn into a tool for control. You're left feeling confused and emotionally drained. So why do manipulative individuals employ love bombing? The answer lies in the power dynamics. By making their victims emotionally dependent, they gain control over their lives. It's a strategy of dominance, cleverly disguised as affection. Now that we understand what love bombing is, let's take a look at some real-life examples. Imagine being showered with affection, receiving gifts every day, and constantly being told how perfect you are. Let's step into the shoes of three individuals who have experienced this whirlwind of affection, only to realize it as a manipulative tactic known as love bombing. Our first case is of Sarah. Sarah met John online and they hit it off instantly. John was charming, attentive, and seemed incredibly interested in Sarah. He texted her good morning, good night, and every moment in between. He showered her with compliments, saying she was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen, and sent her extravagant gifts, even though they had known each other for only a few weeks. At first, Sarah was flattered, but she soon began to feel overwhelmed. A sense of unease crept in when she realized that John's affection felt more like a performance than a genuine emotion. Next, we have the story of Mike. Mike was introduced to Lisa by a mutual friend. Lisa was vivacious, fun-loving, and seemed to be smitten by Mike. She'd drop by his work with lunch, plan surprise outings, and would always be available for him. She told him he was the best thing that ever happened to her. But soon, Mike noticed that Lisa was subtly isolating him from his friends and family. Her love felt suffocating, and it dawned on him that Lisa's affection was a tool for control. Finally, let's look at the case of Anna and Rob. Rob was Anna's coworker, who always made her feel special. He'd praise her work, offer help, and make her feel like the smartest person in the room. He'd often surprise her with her favorite coffee and seem to be in tune with her thoughts and feelings. But Anna started noticing that Rob's kindness seemed to come with strings attached. He expected her to be available for him at all times, and would get upset if she didn't reciprocate his feelings in the same intensity. These stories paint a clear picture of how love bombing works, but how do you identify it? Love bombing can be difficult to identify, especially when you're the one being bombarded. It's a subtle manipulation tactic that often goes undetected, because it masquerades as genuine affection. So how can one distinguish between sincere love and something more sinister? One of the first signs of love bombing is excessive flattery. It's not just the regular compliments that we all enjoy receiving, it's a constant stream of praise that is overwhelming and often disproportionate. The person showering you with admiration might seem completely enamored, but it's crucial to remember that real love takes time to develop. It's not instant, and it certainly isn't over the top. Next, there's the constant communication. The person may be in touch all the time, sending messages, calling, or finding reasons to meet up. It might feel like you're their whole world, and while it's flattering, it can also be a red flag. In a healthy relationship, both parties have their own lives, interests, and personal space. If someone is trying to monopolize your time, it might be a sign of love bombing. Then we have the extravagant gestures. These can include lavish gifts, surprise trips, or grand declarations of love. While these can be part of a normal relationship, they often come too soon and too frequently in a love bombing scenario. It's as if the person is trying to buy your affection or convince you of their love through material means. It's important to note that these signs are not definitive proof of love bombing. They could just be signs of someone who is genuinely smitten or has a big personality. The key is to look for a combination of these signs, especially if they're accompanied by a sense of unease or a feeling that things are moving too quickly. As we've seen, love bombing can be difficult to identify, but understanding its tactics can help protect against it. Trust your instincts and remember that real love respects boundaries, takes time, and is not overwhelming or one-sided. Narcissists are often very charming, which is part of their seductive charm offensive. In the throes of the love bombing phase, narcissists deploy an array of alluring tactics that are as enticing as they are manipulative. One of their most potent tools is the use of exaggerated compliments. These are not your everyday words of admiration. Instead, they are grandiose expressions of affection, designed to make the recipient feel special and unique. The narcissist showers their target with praises, often inflating their ego and making them believe they've found someone who truly understands their worth. But the flattery is just the first act in this beguiling performance. The next step is constant communication. The narcissist will make their presence felt at all times, inundating the victim with texts, calls, and messages. The incessant communication serves to create a sense of urgency and importance around the relationship. The narcissist, by always being there, makes the victim feel like they are the center of their world. Yet, this is not about genuine connection. It's about the narcissist asserting control and maintaining a psychological hold over their victim. Finally, the narcissist employs extravagant gestures to further draw their victims into their web of deceit. These gestures can range from lavish gifts to extravagant trips or surprise parties. These acts are not tokens of genuine love or appreciation, but carefully calculated moves designed to make the victim feel indebted to the narcissist. The grandeur of these gestures can be blinding, making it hard for the victim to see the manipulative strings attached. The seductive charm offensive of a narcissist can be incredibly hard to resist. It's a potent mix of flattery, constant attention, and grand gestures, all designed to manipulate and control. But once we understand these tactics, we can better protect ourselves and our loved ones from falling prey to such manipulation. While the charm offensive can be seductive, it's important to remember that it is a manipulative tactic used to control. Today, we've explored the concept of love bombing, heard real-life stories, and learned how to identify it. We unraveled the enigma of love bombing, a psychological manipulation tactic where a person showers their partner with excessive affection and attention to gain control. Through real-life stories, we've seen how this seemingly charming offensive can unfold, leaving the recipient in a whirlwind of emotions. We delved into the seductive tactics often employed by narcissists during this phase, including exaggerated compliments, constant communication, and extravagant gestures. These gestures, while initially appealing, are designed to control and manipulate. We've learned that discerning genuine affection from calculated manipulation can be challenging, but not impossible. Recognizing the signs and tactics can help us guard against such manipulative behavior. Stay vigilant, and remember, not all that glitters is gold. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of your mind and understanding the world around you.